Newcastle looking a picture on this Friday evening for the visit of the Brisbane Roar, as the Jets, very much the entertainers but not consistent winners, try to find some home form in front of an expectant crowd, while Brisbane Roar, coming off a win last weekend against Western Sydney Wanderers, will be hoping to vault up the table. It's about... Here's the Newcastle lineup and some forced changes and some selection decisions as well. Georgina Worth is restored as starting goalkeeper, with Claire Quaylo going to the bench. Tara Andrews is out sick though, still no Tessa Tamplin, out with a hamstring injury, and Sophie Stapleford drops out of the matchday squad, replaced on the bench by Leah Puxty and also Chloe Wallando. The other addition to the starting 11 is Tegan Allen. Brisbane welcome back Jamila Rankin and Sian Fryer from illness, which kept them out of the team last week. Jessie Rashard and Zara Kruger moved to the bench, and there's been a swap of goalkeepers with Isabella Shuttleworth and Mia Bailey. The backup gloves have changed hands for this week. And there's the match-winning goal scorer from last week. Holly Palmer found the back of the net to give Brisbane all 3 points. She'll be starting in that midfield next to Ish Norrie today. And of course, Katrina Gorry is back from her month-long break, playing professionally in Sweden. Needed just a bit of a rest before launching headfirst into the A-League Women's. At the opposite end of the experience scale, Tegan Thompson, 25 years old, made her debut with a win last week. And when you come in as a defender, that's always a good feeling. And so she's held her spot in the team ahead of the goalkeeper Hensley Handcuff, who's been one of the best recruits of the season so far. The American goalkeeper, only 22 years old. And there's her opposite number. Georgie Worth was benched last week, but after conceding 5 against Melbourne Victory, she's back. And we have kickoff now with Newcastle attacking the left of your screens in this first half. And straight away, they're trying to worry the Roar out of possession, but a pass from Cassia Lind, well, it clears the lines at least as far as Lucy Johnson. And now Tegan Allen is going to try and swing another ball back in. Newcastle on the attack straight out of the gates, but that pass goes over the head of Sarah Griffith and is swept onto by Tamar Levin. And now Shay Connors showed a lot of the ball to Griffith, a little bit dangerous. Back to Lind at the centre of defence once again. And Jamila Rankin getting a feel for the ball, out to Tegan Thompson on that left-hand side. And it's been a bit of a shaky start from the visiting team, as Newcastle try to take the ascendancy in this match. Allen with the throw. Touchdown and a quick 1-2 by Murphy Agnew. Now one of the other Americans, Emily Garnier, not able to find a teammate with that pass though. And Lucy Johnson consolidating possession for the Jets. Brisbane have not really had a feel for it through the opening minute. Newcastle setting the tone. Here is Cannon Clough coming up against her former side. Now a long clearance. One in the air comfortably by Lind. Down to Gorry. Now Ish Norrie. See, it's a little bit patchy in the centre of the ground here at the number 2 sports ground. Just that little green stripe through the middle. Players will probably be carefully playing around that through the course of the game. Katrina Gorry. Davis with a physical challenge on Palmer, able to spill the ball. Now back pass from Garnier, a little bit awkward for Worth. He's able to sweep the right foot through the ball and get the clearance away. Bouncing and awkward to deal with. Palmer. Now Connors to Gorry. Raw really building promisingly for the first time. Gorry rarely needs an invitation to shoot from distance, and that was a flat little tracer bullet there. And a very poorly disguised challenge there from Lucy Johnson. He's got to be careful here knocking the ball away like that, but it was hands over the shoulders of Holly Palmer there. I think the referee won't have an easier decision today than to blow for the free kick, and all of a sudden, in shooting range for the Brisbane Roar, they can be dangerous here. Holly Palmer is there as well. Do they have a left-footed taker, the Brisbane Roar? You suspect it's going to be Katrina Gorry shooting it over the wall and shooting it high and wide. Bit of an anti-climax there from the Matildas star. So we take another look at how this free kick came about. Really, I'm not sure exactly what possessed Lucy Johnson to even protest about that. Just a rather blatant grab of the shirt, almost like the head was still in warm-up mode rather than game time. Katrina Gorry will have no such issues playing through any kind of press, but that pass is onto the head of Clough. Brodigan loses out to Connors. Little grab there on Connors. And the referee does whistle for the foul. And was maybe thinking about paying advantage, and it's a yellow card early too. So Ash Brodigan goes in the book in just the 10th minute of the game. Even though she does play in an attacking role, Brodigan, that'll make defending from the front a little bit more challenging. Have another look here at the first yellow card. You suspect right there, had Brodigan let go, that might have been advantage rather than a full booking, but just absolutely refused to let Connors get away. And so the referee ended up producing a yellow card. Free kick is shanked sideways by Clough. Awkward, requires some clearing. Sian Fryer is still looming for the Raw. Spins and feeds it to Gorry. This is again shooting range for Gorry. And she will accept the invitation to shoot! And Katrina Gorry scores! It proved to be an irresistible invitation for Katrina Gorry, and Newcastle are punished to full effect by the Matildas superstar. As we take another look here at the attempt, Lucy Johnson went sliding out of the way. Katrina Gorry beautifully inside the corner, absolutely nothing that Georgina Worth could do about it, and I'm almost certain that that goal-scoring tribute running over to the sideline to grab the shirt was for Mariel Ecker, who went down with injury last week and is out for the rest of the season. But that strike is pure, and the Newcastle Jets, they knew what was coming. They couldn't do anything about it. They tried to defend it. Worth tried to keep goal, but it's Brisbane 1, Newcastle 0, and a moment of real quality from Katrina Gorry. Johnson, this time in a bit more space to try and pick the right pass. Levin with a header central. Rankin was there. Agnew came bursting through and caught a little bit of contact. It has been a quiet first 20 minutes from Murphy Agnew, and that's going to be a yellow card as well. So a booking for both teams out of the pocket early doors. Yeah, I don't really even think that's a foul. Never mind a card, but referee's decision is final. It's just a genuine accident, really. Looks as though the assessment's fine for Murphy Agnew. They're not going to go into a longer concussion test. However, watch this space. So here's the resulting free kick. Very timidly just dinked into the box, and Gorry's able to clear away. Allen, now it becomes a scrap. Can the Jets get it back into an area of danger? Newcastle repelling so far, and another free kick has been conceded. And this time it's Taryn King, the central defender, who's been felled by a high boot. It looks as though the trainer is going to be coming straight back out again. 2 phases of play in a row. Let's have another look at this one. It was there to be one, and Gorry, a knee into the abdomen of Taryn King, and that one hurt. Here's another replay. So here's the resulting free kick, a bit further out than the last one. Still a good strike. Could cause trouble. It's being shown plenty of respect by a 4-player wall. Agnew slides it through the right side. Griffith legged. Penalty shout, not given. Isabella Libri had a good view there through a sea of legs. And the Newcastle Jets players perhaps right to ask why. Now Brodigan. Newcastle trying to go end to end. Agnew back to Brodigan. Oh, and it's run under the feet of Murphy Agnew. That was nearly the Newcastle midfielder away. here's that penalty shout once again. It was the right leg of Shay Connors catching the outstretched right leg of Sarah Griffith there. Maybe she left it dangling. Maybe. Here's Griffith on the ball, trying to make something happen again. The cross over the right side of the area. Lauren Allen outside the box. Johnson with a long shot. It was a promising height, just wasn't on the target. And that's some signs of life in front of goal from the Newcastle Jets. And Lucy Johnson, who's never scored in this league. Plenty of space to roll the back pass down to Handcuff. Now Jamila Rankin turning and going. Gorry, an errant touch, and the door slightly ajar for Griffith. Here's the follow-up, and the shot is into the gloves of Hensley Handcuff. Such a tall, imposing figure. Made that look rather comfortable in the end. A couple of shouts that the ball may have gone out, but the flag didn't go up, so Levin keeps running. Ball breaks central. Davis, neat step around to evade Katrina Gorry, and now trying to thread it to Agnew. Handcuff has come out, leads feet first, and has done well to get to the ball before Agnew did. Agnew stays down. And you see there, Agnew still down as Griffith goes on the attack. Griffith is going to keep going here for Newcastle because it is a decent half chance. However, the entire Raw defence has converged. And now the referee is going to whistle play dead so that Murphy Agnew can be assessed here. Might lead to even more than 5 minutes. Here's another look. Agnew's chasing. Handcuff gets to the ball first. Oh, it's the left leg. And then winded as well. As and so you see there again the point of impact. So the doctor and the trainer and the stretcher bearers there are going to carry Murphy Agnew out of the game with a suspected back injury here, the severity of which no doubt will be assessed and communicated by the Newcastle Jets in due course, but we hope that it is not too severe. The sub goes through. Adriana Konjarski will come on. Some risks. Will they shake it up to try and go for it? Those are the questions that will remain for the second half, because right now Katrina Gorry with a very nice strike from outside the penalty area is the difference between the two teams. And Brisbane Raw, unless Newcastle can make some changes, are looking very good value for their advantage. It is Newcastle Jets 0, Brisbane Raw 1. And so it's as though the referee is just waiting on the go-ahead from the fourth official to get things back underway. Brisbane Raw to take the kick-off, and they hold a 1-0 advantage thanks to that player, Katrina Gorry. Do Newcastle have a comeback in them here? You'd think they do, in order to try and keep their season on track. Only picked up the 1 win in the first 5, but if they were to come back today, it would represent perhaps a turning point for them to try and kickstart something special through the mid stages of the 18-game home and away season. There is the player that was subbed on at half-time, Jessie Rashart, the number 3. Will be standing at right back in this second 45. Coming on for Tegan Thompson. And we did see the switch of flanks for Tamar Levin to go from left back to right back during that first half. Levin is now restored at left back, and Rashard has come on to play at right back. So that might have been a factor in the sub rather than an injury, perhaps something tactical. Thompson looked quite composed in defence in that first half, but perhaps playing a right footer at left back was one of the considerations as to why Gareth McPherson decided to action the change. It means there's been a sub made by both teams. Murphy Agnew going off with a back injury in first half stoppage time after a lengthy assessment, and has been replaced by Adriana Konjarski. So both teams will still have plenty of the bench to reach into as the second half goes on. Newcastle happy to just control the ball in fairly harmless territory, and Cass Davis is not able to make any headway into the midfield third. And now a long, hopeful pass down the left side. I can tell you that down in Queanbeyan, Rihanna Policina has scored her second goal of the game and in the 55th minute, so that game is now a good 10 minutes ahead of this one. It is Melbourne City 2, leading Canberra United 0. Melbourne City's attempts to bounce back from their first loss last weekend against Western United, get their campaign back on track. Davis. Newcastle stringing some passes together in advanced areas. Griffith, left-footed strike comes and it's just over the bar. And that was much better from the Jets. One of the few times in this game that they've actually been connecting passes in their attacking third, and it instantly leads to a shot. Not on target, but just over from Sarah Griffith, and that's Brisbane on notice now. Nicely worked by Brodigan, and then the step inside from Griffith to lose the attention of Katrina Gorry. And Hensley's another look at the neat little step around from Griffith when they met Gorry. Connors and Clough resuming their duel. Clough gets the points on this occasion. Pass central to Lauren Allen. And Allen, well, it's really good use of the body there from Tegan Thompson. Smart defending. Didn't foul her, just knocked her off her line. Tamar Levin will have a crack instead. Crummer, this is where Crummer can be really dangerous, spinning, and Taryn King was able to get a body in the road, and then Garnier coming across as the covering defender as well. But Larissa Crummer, when that spin initially started to go, might have been thinking she was about to bear down on goal. Ball falls in the box. Gorry, dangerous. Katrina Gorry got the angle spot on. There is one unstoppable force in this game, and her name is Katrina Gorry. Here's another look. Gorry, an unchecked run, able to take a touch. Taryn King went in with a slide challenge, couldn't impact the ball or the player, and Gorry on an acute angle nestled it in the corner. It has been the Gorry show, and 2 moments of top quality mean that it's Brisbane Roar 2 leading the Newcastle Jets 0. Here's another look. King lunged, did not catch Gorry at all, and that is a great finish past Georgie Worth to double Brisbane Roar's lead. And Newcastle, if they were playing passively before, they really need a spur now. Ash Wilson, what's the next big idea to come from the sidelines? All the subs are seated at the moment. Palmer. Davis is shooting. Davis, a tumbler. And Cass Davis, who has never scored in this league, has the only 2 shots on goal for the Newcastle Jets in this game, but they at least have a second shot on goal. Here's another look at how Davis was able to pick the pocket of Shay Connors. Now on the turn, Griffith, last-ditch challenge was crucial. Here's a shot on the spin, and it's over the bar. Question why it took going 2-0 down for them to spark to life. Griffith was nearly away there, but that is great defensive midfield work from Ish Norrie. And then the awkward looping ball in the air, volleyed up to Rashard, who can't take possession. Griffith. Konyaski makes a break down the left. And the backtracking Ish Norrie is able to consolidate possession. Ball breaks into the middle though. Maybe this is Newcastle's chance. Allen, Johnson slides it low. Griffith with it all to do at the top of the box. And now the follow-up shot comes in. Good save by Handcuff. And Rashard is first to respond, putting it behind for a corner. And that was Lauren Allen asking a big question of Hensley Handcuff. And the Raw goalkeeper equal to it. You see Griffith had the initial chance, knocked off her feet. First time shot from Allen, and it was bending. But Handcuff, very tall goalkeeper, stretched out the arms and was able to parry it away. And so Ash Brodigan can go for an in-swinging corner here. They're going to take it short. Cass Davis back to Brodigan at the edge of the area. So many bodies to get through. And it still couldn't catch a favourable deflection. Goes across the face and out for a goal kick. Griffith, all energy trying to challenge Rashard. Collapses to the deck. Bit of an awkward touch from Handcuff. And now the Jets, well, it was helter-skelter, but no one able to actually fire an effective shot. Crummer. And this could be Tamar Levin's big moment here. It's the youngster Levin, and a good save. Follow-up, Gorry clattered. Advantage given. The ball is still live at the feet of Crummer. Gorry trying for a hat-trick. Players falling out of the way. It's all a bit chaotic. Palmer against Johnson. Still Holly Palmer. And now Levin again. Gorry's in an offside position, and that shot is bending wide. You got to give credit to Worth for the save, though, because it was Tamar Levin. As we take another look at this chance here for Levin, it was a well-hit left-footed shot. Worth, in no man's land, it's safe to say, was able to get down and make the save. I think Gorry, I'm not sure advantage suited Brisbane there. That would have been a full crossfield ball. Thompson on the up and under. Misses the clearance at the second time of asking, though. Griffith swings it into the box, chested down by Lind. Able to take the sting out of the ball, but Norrie didn't control it with any real conviction. And now charging through, here's Davis. Oh, just wide of the top right. Cass Davis has come with a mission today. I think she's sick of not having a goal to her name in this competition. Has produced arguably the 3 best chances to score for Newcastle in this one. And again, it just goes agonisingly wide. Was holding off the youngster Kruger, and that had Hensley Handcuff flying. Rankin, Lind's got to be careful. There are players lurking. And now Konyaski, Gooch. Got the ankles tapped there. And Ish Norrie will take a yellow card as the cost of doing business. Goes into the book. And so a free kick will go. And look at this there. Taryn King and Ish Norrie are arguing over where the free kick is. Norrie's a true on-field general out there. 4 additional minutes. And that was smart from Norrie, just insisting that Newcastle don't steal any metres here. And we're ready for this free kick. If they score here, we might just get the late show from Newcastle. Let's see what they can do. Here's the shot, and Handcuff parries out for a corner. Might have been in 2 minds about a catch or the parry there, Hensley Handcuff, but all's well that ends well. Kept it out of the back of the net. That was the most important thing. As Handcuff collapsed down to the ball. Brodigan's had a few corners in this second half. Let's see if this one's on the money. It's not. It hits the side netting. And you suspect that might be it for Newcastle here, at least as far as grabbing 2 unlikely goals at the end of the game. And they will have to go back to the drawing board here, the Jets. And still the clock continues to run here. The referee making the players do a bit of overtime at the end of the game. Griffith swings it to the far post. And what a chance for Konyaski, but there was no power behind the touch. And Hensley Handcuff had one last shot on target to save. And the clean sheet was maintained right up until the very last second. And Konyaski, well, it was off the thigh rather than the boot. Gratefully grasped onto, and that is what Brisbane Roar have done to the 3 points as well. All over in Newcastle, and it's the Roar that prevail. Newcastle Jets 0, Brisbane Roar 2.